How's everybody doing? Mike here, Gen X Arcade, and I'm going to show you how to use your Multicade cabinet that's running on a Raspberry Pi and a Nintendo Wii. First thing we're going to do is go around the back and flip on the power switch. While that's powering up, I'm going to show you guys what you're going to do with your Wii remotes that are charging. So whenever you get a setup like this, it's going to come with a charging station. So you've got your two Wii remotes right here, and they'll always be labeled number 1 and number 2. Number 1 always goes on the left side. Put it right back inside your gun. Same thing with number 2. So with that being said, you do not have batteries to deal with. I do have rechargeable charging packs in these. Very simple, it just goes right in there. Now, once this has finished starting up, I'm going to show you how to navigate real quick into your games, and I'm also going to show you how to navigate into the gun games. This is the little remote that will come with it. If you have the LED light option for underneath and on the back, this will allow you to change different colors, different modes, and you can also shut it off as well. So that just sticks on the side of the cabinet there. Up here you'll find your sound bar with your volume control. Once the system finishes loading up, you're going to see this screen right here. And this is where you're going to go on player number 1. Here is what you're going to use to select. What you'll see here is everything set up in subcategories. You'll either see a console or arcade classics, or it'll be broken up into like sports games or Mario games or whatever. You're also going to notice that you have a favorites list, a recent played list, and an all games list. So they're actually all right together. So right here we've got all games, favorites, and last played. And to add a game to your favorites, all you have to do is go into a subcategory and see a game that you like. You push the top left button here on player number 1, and that's going to automatically add that to your favorites list. So in order to get into a game, just select the subcategory that you want, select the button on the bottom row in the middle, that's the A button, and then you're going to scroll down till you see the game that you want. The game will be highlighted. Push your A button again. Don't touch anything while it's loading. Give the game a moment to load. Once the game has loaded, if you selected a game that was originally in the arcade, it's going to ask for a coin. Just push your coin button up here and then push your start button. And once again, you can adjust your volume up here. And there's your game. Now to exit the game, push coin and player number 1 start at the same time. If you have a 4-player panel, sometimes you will have your coin button will be down here and your player 1 button will be here. Just make sure you're hitting player number 1, coin and button to exit. Now to get back to the main menu, you hit the B button. That's going to be your bottom left on player number 1. And that's going to bring you back to your main menu here. Okay? So that's it for this system. Now if you want to shoot some zombies and you want to pull up your Nintendo Wii, it's very easy. Grab your player number 1 Wii gun that should be on the left side, and you'll notice if you flip this down, there's a power button here. Hold that in for about 2 seconds, and you'll notice this screen shut off. What it did is it actually powered on the Nintendo Wii, and it's automatically switching as it loads. And there's our Nintendo Wii. Now you want to stand probably, I'd say, about 3 feet or so away from the cabinet. Squeeze your trigger a couple of times for it to activate. Now you can see that I'm actually got the hand on the screen, and you're going to use your A button right here. That's your select. So you're going to go up here. What you're looking at here is all the different categories. 90% of the games are in this one here that's named Wii Flow. You'll also find a couple under Nintendo, Super Nintendo, then there's a few games scattered throughout the board. But like I said, 90% of them will be in the Wii Flow. So that's where we're going to go, just so I can pull up a game and show you folks real quick how to use this. We're going to go to Start. And just give it a minute to load, and it's going to load. Like I said, you've got about 90% of the games right here. Okay, now to scroll through, there's 81 games in this particular category. So in order to scroll through, you use the arrows here on your Wii remote, right to left. And then when you see the game that you want to play, so you can go back here as well. Once you found the game you want to play, you just hit the A button while the cursor is on that. And then you scroll down here to the bottom right, and you click with the A button and hit play. Give it a moment to load. You can adjust your volume. Sometimes you have to squeeze the trigger a couple of times to get past these screens. And if the game requires a nunchuck, which some Nintendo Wii games did, this is your nunchuck. Every one of these cabinets will come with one. You just have this plug right here. That will actually plug right into the back of your gun if it's required. This particular game does not require it. So we're going to go ahead and hit the A button here to get started. And you're going to do all your navigating through here. You're not using these controls right now because you're not using the Raspberry Pi. You're using the Nintendo Wii. So we're going to scroll through here, and we're going to select House of the Dead 3, arcade mode. Give it a moment to load, and I'll show you guys real quick what it's like to shoot some zombies. Okay, if you want to get out of this game and play another one, just push the home button here on your Wii remote. And you want to go to Wii menu. You're pushing your A button here on the Wii remote. Or Wii gun, whatever you prefer to call it. And just click on yes. And that's going to bring you back to the list of games in this category. Okay, I lied. It brings you back to the main menu. If you want to go back to that same category, you can select Wii Flow, or you can go down here to Nintendo, or you can also go down here. This is Super Nintendo games. So that's how you play on the Nintendo Wii that's installed in here. If you want to go back to the Raspberry Pi and play your regular arcade games, all you have to do is shut off the Nintendo Wii, and that's done by pushing this same button here again. Hold it in for about 2 seconds. That shuts off the Nintendo Wii, reactivates the Raspberry Pi, and we're back in business. To go ahead and play any of the arcade games, the over 9,000 games that are loaded on this cabinet. Once again, when a screen is loading, don't push any buttons, let it finish loading. If it's an arcade, you hit coin and then hit start. Now keep in mind some games were a little bit different and the start button was not what was used in the arcade, so don't be afraid to push a couple other buttons until you find it. In this case, A was the start button on this game. Okay, now just a reminder to get out of the game, coin for player 1 and player 1 start at the same time. Now if you're going to shut your system down completely, this is the way that you have to do it. Hit the B button to go back to the main menu. Push player number 1, start button. That's going to pull up your main menu. Scroll down to quit. Hit the A button, which is the bottom middle button closest to you. Scroll down again to shut down system. Do you really want to shut down? Yes. You'll know it's shut down when all these lights here on the panel go off. The screen has gone dark. Give it about another 5 seconds. Then you can go around the backside and shut off the main switch on the surge protector. Shut that off. Do not leave it turned on because power is still going to the monitor and you could, over time, burn the monitor out and potentially overheat it. And the only way to turn the system back on is to once again flip the switch on the back on the surge protector. All right, so that's it for this tutorial on how to use your Multicade that has a Raspberry Pi and a Nintendo Wii. The Raspberry Pi has 9,000 arcade and console games in it, and the Nintendo Wii is loaded with 100 shooter games and 2 guns. Also, your charging system, so you never have to worry about replacing batteries in your Wii guns. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Enjoy your games. We'll see you at the arcade.